Hey guys, sorry to disappoint my MILFs that I'm not wearing a sexy color with good lighting, but all I can be is me. Don't try to hurt yourself in over impressing people. And what I can tell you is some of the times that I've unattracted people is when I've pressed too hard, when I tried to wear the perfect outfit, when I tried to smile the perfect way. When I tried to put up this perfect facade is when I unattracted the people I was attracted to. All you can do is be yourself. And what you're going to realize is the people who like you, the people that get you, the people like in the movie Jerry Maguire, the girl said to Tom Cruise, "You had me at hello." Meaning that Tom Cruise didn't need to say like great, eloquent speeches. Tom Cruise didn't need to wear a beautiful outfit. The girl, Tom Cruise, and the same day he was getting a lot of girls. What I'm trying to tell you is just be yourself, okay? And hello, Sally, on a live check-in. Just be you, Sally, from Yuma. Love and respect to Arizona, the deserts in the house. I'm coming live from Florida, the tropical, magical, beautiful land. And wherever you are, welcome. What I try to do every night is go live. I try to pick one structure topic that I want to talk about, something in life I've been through, I'm thinking of. And I also read each live comment like Meadow Tails. And she says, "Hey, Sammy," smiling. And then she gave the girl waving. Meadow is waving all the way from the beautiful Philippines. And they have palm trees there. I YouTubed the Philippines and I looked around. And what I can tell you is we love Meadow. Meadow's a very magical young lady, woman in her 30s, I believe, who recently got promoted and is dating a guy. And we're hoping it's going to work out well. And she likes cats. We love Meadow. Sally, you always talk about things I like. Good, because sometimes I talk about things people don't like, and that's part of life too. And then sometimes I come in on my live chats or in my videos, I'm very passionate, I'm very straightforward and blunt. And then look, I fail in life. I get humbled. There's things I got to deal with. And then I'm like, well, should I just stop making videos? Because, we all fail. I mean, am I really one to speak? I mean, we all go through different things in life. But then I say, you can't just be timid because that's no help either. I mean, you got to be humble, but you can't be so humble that you don't have any type of power and any type of boldness. But then, if you come across too bold, then it's like, you don't have compassion. It's a very tough balance, and there's no exact science, and you're going to fail. Life is failure, okay? The reality of life is you will fail way more than you will succeed. And that's the reality in every way, in your personal relationships, in your financial aspects, and in every way. You can look at the news now, people who are multimillionaires caught in scandals, and the only reason some of them succeed is because they had to rig the system. Because if they played exactly by the books, they would fail. Even though they are at the top of the world, controlling many of the things that happen in this world. Most people, including people that are wealthy, including people that are poor, everyone in between has failed and failed miserably. Once in a while, you catch some great breaks and you succeed. And yes, once in a while, you win. But and certainly there's wisdom and certainly there's good habits. You need those things and you should practice those things and you should try to do those things. And there is progressive change, but a lot of life is failure. And that's why a lot of times people are hurting mentally. People are hurting mentally. And the best advice I can give anyone who is hurting mentally is let go. You have to learn so much, and it's a daily discipline. You have to let go of every thought almost. You have to process that thought and then let go immediately. Bad and good memories. Both, you got to let go of both, bad and good. Because if you hold on too long to the good, you don't go forward. And if you hold on too long to the bad, you don't go forward either. It's a dangerous trap. If you made a mistake, you got to let go. You certainly got to learn a lesson, you got to think about that, but you got to let go quick. You can't bask too long in a victory because life is constant movement. It doesn't stay the same. And that's how, you just got to let go. And you just got to take each moment for what it is. You got to enjoy the journey. And you got to make the most of each day. What's the secret of life? Some people ask, what's the meaning of life? Is it service? Is it finding something greater than yourself? All that's bullshit, okay? All that matters. But the real answer to life is enjoy every day as best you can. Every day. Not when you're 65 with full Social Security benefits, not after you get married, not after you finish your renovations. Enjoy life every day as best you can and treat people right as best you can. And you're still going to have some a-holes. That's it. That's the answer of life. You can come up with some magical speech, and some people will come up with magical speeches. But that's the real answer, in my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. And that's what I want to share with you. And let's read some more live comments to see what's going on out there in YouTube world. Andreas, what's up? It's scary to fail. It is. It's scary and it's painful. I have failed, and what I can tell you is there's nothing like it. It's very painful, and you're a good fail. And that's why Rocky had gave that speech. He said, life is not how hard you hit, but how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. You know, some people, 1 minute they thumbs up you, and then they take away the thumbs up. Why? Because, you know, people want you to do things they want to do, and people want you to, you know, look, life, no matter what, is going to be a lot of failure, okay, with some brief moments of success in between. And all you can do is be yourself. Just like I said in the opening catalog, if you're going to focus too long on how other people perceive you, you're never going to go forward in life. And you have to be a little bit graceful on yourself, because if you're too timid, you're not going to have boldness. And if you're too boldness, you're going to be too cocky. There's no exact science. It's a delicate balance. And you just got to let go. And that's it. That's the answer. L12FO. What's up, LF210? You never know until you try. Yes, you have to try. And that's the other thing I want to say tonight. Having a goal is scary because if a lot of times you're going to fail. And I have failed. But here's the good thing about having a goal and failing. If you aim for the moon, even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. So L12FL has an astronaut profile picture. Okay, that's all about exploration and going to the moon. How many rocket ships on the goal to reach the moon? How many blew up? How many failed? How many failed missions? Many. But you aim for the moon, even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. And if you have a goal of being healthier, eating healthier, if you have a goal physically, financially, relationship-wise, you're probably going to fail. But hopefully, through the grace of God, you can progressively get better and at least move the needle to position your life to more closer to where you want to be. And that's the best you can do in this world. Really is. And KP Box 99, good observation. Failure happens. Yes, it does. It's progressing from those experiences that matters. Yes. And like my girl Rihanna said, sometimes you're going to make the same old mistakes. In her album Anti, I loved the song Same Old Mistakes. Rihanna was singing the song. A song is the written word. The written word sung is poetry. She was singing that in life. She many times makes the same old mistakes. Many of us do. And sometimes rich people, you don't think they make the same mistakes. Why? Because they have a lot of money to buffer it. But again, whether rich or poor, it doesn't matter. Okay, what I can tell you is everyone makes mistakes and sometimes make the same ones. You got to go forward. You got to let go. You got to make the most of each day. Okay, you got to make the most of each day. You got to try to treat people right, but that's it. You're never going to make everyone happy. That's all you can do. Sailing John. Hey, Sam. Yes, balance every day. Forward we go. Keep pushing. Yeah, forward emoji and palm tree. That's right, Sailing John. Keep pushing. I mean, Sailing John had a goal of October 2018 to sail down to Florida. He asked me when was my goal to reposition. I gave a date. I said, hopefully by next fall I'll be in Florida. And I was able to get here a little bit sooner through the grace of God, through hard work, and through a mix of all those things. It's no exact science. But I had a direction. But there's failure along the way. There's pain. There's cold nights. There's catching a cold. There's setbacks. There's failing and wanting to crawl under a rock. There's all those things along the journey. So you have to make the most of each day, try to treat people right, and that's it. It's not a magical thing. Sally, You don't know how much you've helped me. Well, Sally, I appreciate that because it is very tempting to just give this thing up in many times in my mind because it is a little bit easier on the mind. I would have given this up, but I failed enough in life that sometimes I've shut all my social media down, and then I just said, well, I'm not happy not sharing because I like to share. And people who, not just on YouTube, on Instagram, people who follow me, inspire at _38. I mean, I think I have 124 followers on Instagram. I have over 5,000 posts over the course of about 5-7 years. And that is no monetization, that is no nothing. I enjoy sharing. But I can tell you, when I fail, I don't want to share. I want to erase everything I've ever shared. Why? Because, you feel like a hypocrite and you feel like, what can I really share? I failed, but this is life. I mean, you got to just go forward. No exact science to that. Thank you, Sally. Ryan B. Hello there, Sammy. Ryan B. Hello to you. Watching from Sandy, Utah. Utah has sand? I didn't know that. Or is that the name of the town? Tom Hanks, what's up, brother? What's your Instagram? The word inspire, then the symbol underscore, the underscore symbol, and then the number 38. Inspire _38. Sorry if I've already said that. Just join the stream. No, that's okay. Love and respect you, Tom. Good to have you here, brother. Good to have everyone. I'm very thankful. I do appreciate the encouragement. This is, again, this fulfills a level of a connection because I really don't like to be bothered with people. I mean, for me, that's just how I keep my sanity. Ryan B says that's the name of the city. Sandy, Utah. I have to Google that and look on the map. Shout out to Sandy, Utah. That's good. Well, let's take a hydration break, everyone, because I'm a little parched. It was actually cooler today and cooler the past few days in Florida than it was in New Jersey. I spoke to a couple loved ones back in New Jersey, and the heat index, depending on what part of New Jersey you're at, has been over 100. In Florida, it's been in the mid-80s, low humidity relative for this time of year. And at night, where I'm at, been cool. I got my hoodie on right now. Okay, so again, some of it, not all of it, but some of it is a myth that in the summer, it's only hot in Florida, not everywhere else, or it's hotter in Florida. Not necessarily. Okay, in New Jersey, there's been many days, many weeks this year, it's been hotter in New Jersey than in Florida. So I share that from experience because anyone who's thinking of doing the move, look, no move is perfect. Nothing is perfect in life, but there is better for you. Everyone's an individual, like my man Ryan B. You think he loves Sandy, Utah. My guy Doug from Arizona, New Mexico. He loves New Mexico. But that's, you have to find what works for you. And then L120 says, I have some ice water too. Good. Tom Hanks, confused how this has more dislikes than likes. Well, it's just part of life. Don't try to confuse it. Thank you for the encouragement, but don't try to confuse it. When you share, you have to accept you're going to get both. And I accept that. I show up every day. Sometimes I get more dislikes. Most of the time I get more likes than dislikes, but I show up every day. So every day, some people just want you to fail, and you show up. They'll go on vacation, they'll call out sick, they'll stop, or they'll just keep coming in miserable. But I have to show up to my life. I'm doing my best. Overall, I believe my message is positive. If you look at the context of over my 1,000 videos, I believe, in my opinion, that they are overall positive and overall give a good message. But some people who I have a disagreement with, some people who don't like my political or mental philosophy, or that I've just blocked, they are resentful, spiteful, and maybe they just fairly disagree with me, and they have a right to thumbs down. I'm sharing in a public platform, so that's their right. And so it is what it is. I won't tell them to not exercise their right and protest. Maybe I should tell them, you can't protest this national Sammy anthem. You got to stand, okay? Because this is my free speech. This is my right. But I won't do that. I let them give the thumbs down because I believe in the right of free speech, of protest. So some people want to protest my channel. I believe in that right, and I stand for that right. And That's the beautiful part about this country. Look, China has more people than the United States of America, but China can't Google anything. China has different websites, different content that's not allowed to be viewed anywhere. So that's why in the YouTube world, look, the highest population is in China and in India. I believe they have like 1.3 billion people in each. 1.3 billion in China, 1.3 billion in India. The United States of America has approximately 320 million. So India and China have like 3 times the amount of population than the United States of America. But America, what? Look, America hasn't been perfect, never will be perfect. But overall, the principle is you have the right to, as long as what you're doing is not hurting someone, and as long as what you're doing is not, it's just not causing havoc as far as, well, I shouldn't even say that. All I can say is, look, as long as you're not infringing upon someone else's right, you have the right to exercise your rights. But sometimes when you exercise your right peacefully, people disagree with that. And so they lash out in hate, in spite, and it's not really because they are mad at you exercising your right, it's because they're mad at their life. And a news story will put them over the edge. Somebody saying something that just hurts them mentally pushes them over the edge, so they want to do anything they can to lash out and to make you feel their pain, because whatever you're saying is triggering something inside them that's causing them more pain, so they have to inflict that pain upon you. Hurt people hurt people. Heal people heal people. But look, everyone's hurt. Everyone's hurt a little bit, so everyone, look, I'm giving a little bit of a pushback right now too, so I'm letting people know out there, look, this is what it is. This is all part of life. It's very interesting. Ryan B., it's a few cities away from Salt Lake City. Okay, I didn't know that. Miami Kings. I'm in Newport News, VA, and it's hotter here. It's hotter up here. Yep, see? Miami Kings, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Love and respect to VA. Newport News, is that where AI is from? Allen Iverson? Somewhere around there? Tom Hanks. We appreciate your dedication. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate your dedication too, Tom. Miami Kane says, upper 90s? Phew, that's hot. Tom Hanks, some people just can't handle positivity. They want to stay negative. That's true. But look, sometimes, if you go live and if you share consistently, everyone's not always going to agree, and that's fine. That's fair, and I'm not always right. But this is my opinion based on, my perspective. You're not going to agree 100%, and just like I'm not going to agree with you 100%. That's part of life. That's why it's easier to hide under a rock. It's easier to hide under a rock. Would I do this if there was no money involved? Well, I still do Instagram. There's no money involved. I still do Facebook. There's no money involved. I still did MySpace. There's no money involved. I still did this for a year when there was no money involved. Would I continue to do it if I absolutely knew there would never be any money? I look right now, what is it, $200 a month I get from this pre-tax? I don't know. I mean, I probably would. I wouldn't say 100%. I mean, in one sense, if you show up every day and you work hard and you take crap, you should get some type of compensation. As long as it doesn't tax the people. If someone can't hit skip, I don't know. But it's part of life. I'm being honest with you. It's a decision you always have to make in life. Sometimes people have to pay you to do something because you don't want to do something. It has to be an incentive in it. Because even things you enjoy to do, if there is no financial reward, many times you say, look, it's not worth it. I'm taking too much of a loss and I'm not getting enough compensation. That's part of life. You have to enjoy to do them. But that's part of, I'm being honest with you, that's part of life evaluation. Andreas, Sweden have 9 million people. Okay, I didn't know that. Ryan B, misery loves company. That's true. They do. And like I say, in my experience in life, and I don't say this judgmentally, but I say this through my own personal observation, most people in life are miserable. And it's not because necessarily they're evil, because what my experience is, most people are positive. I just experienced that many people are miserable because life is hard and they're hurt and they want you to just share in that hurt. But the only people that I've seen that have overcome, and when I say overcome, I don't mean like they've overcome all their problems, because you're always going to have some problems in this world, but overcome where I mean that they've overcome in the spirit is, one is they're thankful. When I see someone and they continually express and show thankfulness, I say, this is the type of person I want to be around. And that's the type of person I want to be. And the other type of person is they're thankful and that they take accountability for their life. And they don't blame. And if they don't like something, they just move on. But those people are rare. That's why those people are the salt of the earth. Those people are the part of the magic in this world. When you see them, it makes life taste a little bit better. And that's my opinion. Ricardo, what's up, Sam? I've been stressed. I've been stressed out. Well, thank you for sharing. I don't know. I want to leave my first shift job, never have time for me. I can understand, brother. And my mental health don't feel good. Haven't been to the gym that much, been eating bad. I don't know what to do. And then he also says, but I don't know if I'll have the money to pay my bills. Well, Ricardo, thank you for sharing, because that's a struggle that many people face, including me. Look, I would love to not, I'm blessed now where I'm in a good position. I haven't always been, but at any time that can end too. Well, what I can tell you is I've been through that season of life, okay, where I've had a job and either I got laid off and I didn't immediately look for another job, or there was one time in my early 20s where I quit a job before I had another job. And what I found is, yes, it's mentally painful to show up every day for work. Yes, sometimes that if you don't structure your day, you can infringe upon your self-care. But what I found is it's a delicate balance, because if you go too long without no job and no money coming in, you're going to be even more stressed out. Because if you go to the gym every day and you have all the time in the world and you don't have any mental aggravation from people you work with, but you have no money coming in, you're going to have mental aggravation from having no money coming in. So you've just exchanged one mental burden for another. That's my experience, because I've been through that. And that's the thing that keeps me from, always wanting to work until I could. One day I would love to if I could just live off some type of other thing, but I'm not there. I still work, and I still always have work, because that's what I learned. I learned in my own life that if you don't have money coming in, you're going to go through mental pain. And then you're going to have to depend on other people even more. You're going to have to borrow money from friends or family, and that's fucking horrible. I've been down that road. Horrible. And that's why I downsized my life. So look, even if God forbid something does happen, I still always got to work, because you still always have to feed yourself. You always have to pay insurances. You always have to pay gas. You're going to need some type of income. And look, if it was up to me, I'll give everyone $2,000 a month to just do whatever. I really, to me, we print money. I don't give a shit. But it's not reality. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not reality. I don't want to mislead you and then you hurt yourself. But I respect that everyone should make their own decision based on what they want to do for their life. Okay? So I don't want to force my will on you and say this is what you should do. You should do whatever you want to do. Usually, if people listen to me in context, I usually say what I think. And then at the end of that, I usually always say, do whatever you want. It's your life. Be you. People don't like to hear it. People don't remember that part. They only remember me saying what I think, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, that's my opinion. But you should do whatever is best for you, because no one knows you like you. And no one has to live with you other than you. No one has to pay your bills other than you. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what Inspirational Nomad says. It doesn't even matter what your parents or your friends or whoever says. It matters what you say, because you have to live with you. And life isn't easy, but that's why, again, what should you do? Look, try to enjoy each day as best as possible. Try to, treat people as good as you could. And then you got to eliminate people that, you just don't vibe with, and you got to move forward. I know people want a magical answer, but for me, in my experience, that's the answer. Thank you, Ricardo, for sharing. Love and respect. Well, those are my thoughts tonight. Ricardo says, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there. I give you a lot of credit. I know I was a little firm with you to push forward, to get inspired to work. And I give you a lot of credit for showing back up, because I know that wasn't easy to take that push. And I can understand why certain times, I'm a little bit blunt, and I can understand why certain times that turns people off and why they don't come back. I can understand. But what can you do? Not everyone's for everyone. It's like, it's just the way life is. Poker Pro 86, what's up, man? My car is in the shop. Sorry to hear that. I've already missed a day and a half of work. It won't be completed till late tomorrow. Okay. Do you think I should show the effort and take an Uber to work or just use a vacation day? You say it's in the shop and you've already missed a day and a half and it won't be completed till late tomorrow. Do you think you should? I think you should. Here's why, in my opinion. Do what you want, but here's why, in my opinion. Because as I make this live video, it's Thursday night and tomorrow is Friday. Okay, and we're getting ready in the United States of America as I make this live feed to go into a holiday weekend. Next Monday will be Labor Day. Most jobs have off on Labor Day, unless you work in retail or something else. And so if you're in a regular kind of conforming job where you're going to have off on Monday, I would go in tomorrow. Why? Because if you don't go in tomorrow and then you don't go back in the office or wherever you work until Tuesday, you're going to feel even more overwhelmed, and it's going to be scary as hell to go back to work on Tuesday because you're going to feel overwhelmed on all the stuff you missed out on, and you're going to feel like you let everyone down. So in my opinion, if you could, I would go ahead and take an Uber to work. But again, you make the decision that's best for you. Ricardo, I never wanted this job, but kept moving forward. I saved up little this summer. Well, that's the key. I mean, look, there's been plenty of jobs in my life that I've done, not because I wanted to do them, but because, look, I had to do what I had to do. And that's how you save money, right? But if you quit this job and you don't have another job, that's how you lose money. That's how you spend your savings. And that's how you go right back to point zero. I've been there too, so I'm not judging, I'm sharing. And what I can tell you is the best time to get a job is when you currently have a job, because it looks good on your resume, it looks good on the job interview, and you can say, look, I'm currently working here, but I'm looking to move, change jobs because I want better opportunity or because I want to work in a healthier environment. But it looks professional when you have the opportunity. You don't always have the opportunity. I didn't always have the opportunity. But when you have the opportunity to obtain a job when you currently have a job, it's better for you. You can give your 2 weeks notice. You can exit gracefully, and that's the best way to do it. But if you just quit and then you don't have another job lined up, one is if you quit, in my understanding, you don't get unemployment benefits. So right away, you're going to have no income coming in. So right away, you're going to be eating right back into all the hard work of savings you put. And I've been down that road. So this is what I'm telling you again from my experience. It's just learn to rest, not quit. We're getting ready to come up. I don't know. Again, I don't know your job, but we're getting ready to come up on a 3-day weekend. I mean, unless you work in retail, which I worked at one time in my life, you may not have off if you work retail, but if you have off on Monday and you're going to have a break, learn to rest, not quit. Look, there's plenty of nights I don't want to go live. There's plenty of times I don't want to make videos. Plenty of times I want to shut this whole YouTube channel down. But I know the minute I do, and then if one day I decide to start it up again, you know how hard it is to get 5,000 subscribers? You know how hard it is to get a couple hundred views, which makes like nothing per day? It takes at least a year just to get that going. It takes at least probably 5 years to make it worth your while. So every time you quit, you got to start over. Now, some things are worth quitting. There's been some investments, some things I did that I just kept losing money and I never got ahead. At some point, I just had to bite the bullet and say, you know what? This ain't working out. There's no exact science. But I'm sharing with you all my experiences, and I'm sharing with you my perspective. Well, it's time to sleep. This is Andreas. My time is 2:30 a.m. Love and respect, man. Good night, everyone. Peace be with you. Have a great night's sleep, brother. L12FO. Good night, Andreas. Ralph. Hello from California. Love and respect to Cali. They're actually behind us in the clock. So for them, it's only 5 o'clock, I believe. 5 p.m. in California. Glad you're in a good place. Thanks for your advice. Well, thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. Sometimes I think of the Karate Kid when the older karate instructor was teaching Daniel-san how to do karate. But Daniel-san, the young kid who was beat up and he wanted to learn karate to defend himself, he didn't think the old guy was teaching him. He thought the old guy was just giving him a bunch of shit because the old guy had him painting the house. The old guy had him wax on, wax off. But little did he know, the things that the older guy was making him do was helping build a foundation of karate. It was help building a foundation of the tools, the skill set he needed to push forward in life in the manner he wanted. And many times you're going to learn that if you're dealing with a mentor, you're dealing with a teacher, you're dealing with something in life that you're trying to grasp. In the beginning, it's going to seem like you don't really need what they're trying to tell you. But it's very important that you pay attention to some foundational things, because I remember being in high school or middle school, and I was in a math class. And I remember the math teacher saying, look, if you don't pay attention to these beginning weeks of math class, you're going to get totally lost, because everything gets gradually built on top of this foundational, mathematical formula or whatever. And sure enough, like, she started talking, and then like my attention span started going, and then like I stopped paying attention for the first little bit because I thought it was like all like whatever. And then like 3 weeks later, she started to get deep into the theory of this mathematical realm of the course. And I was totally lost because I wasn't paying enough attention in the beginning. I kind of bypassed what I thought was insignificant. And this is a lesson there. Pay attention to that. Jada, hello, Sammy. Hello to you, Jada. I hope you're doing good. Hope everything's well. I hope you're not stressing over guys. I hope you're not thinking about past relationships. I hope you're just moving forward. Look, how do you keep good mental health? You got to let go as good as you can, as much as you can, as often as you can. Nicholas, what's good, Sam? You okay, brother? Yeah, overall, I'm good. I'm trying to stay thankful and trying to make the most of each day. I try to treat people right, and that's where I'm pretty much at. I do feel good. I feel thankful. I want to be thankful. Look, I'm at where I want to be. I'm healthy. I'm in Florida. I'm blessed with my job. Do we want more? We always want more, of course. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes wanting more gives you the ambition to go out and get more. But there's a fine balance between that and also being content. There's a fine balance. You're going to find that life is very fine balance, okay? And but I'm thankful. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Well, I mean, that's it. I could just ramble for all night long, but what I've learned is you stretch the message out, that's when it gets watered down and no good. So I tried to give you everything I got. You guys left some great comments. I appreciate that. And, all we can do is just keep moving forward. Nicholas says he's doing okay, brother. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you replied. Thank you. And that's it. So stay positive. Keep pushing forward. Enjoy that blue night sky. And Janice says, good advice. Well, thank you, Janice. I appreciate that. My fellow commando style Janice, thank you. Nicholas, received my degree results. Not the best, but I got options. Well, that's great. I mean, I think one of the best things in life to help your mental well-being is options. That's why I like the nomad life. That's why I like living simple. Why? For me, it helps my mental well-being when I know I have options. When I feel pinned in a corner, when I feel like I have no options, and so, I get high anxiety. I get high stress. I need to be as free as possible, from my monthly expenses to my underwear to everything in between. I need to have little commitment and little restraint, because I just operate better as a free bird. That's how I am. I didn't always know and accept that. But as I got older and I've become to know myself, that's a key to who I am. And I need that. So, Janice, hi. That's good. Good to laugh. Marin, hey, heart emoji and love and respect. Well, thank you. Heart emoji back to you, and the same love and respect to you also. Nicholas, yeah, I have developed serious issues with anxiety while doing this degree. Been a struggle. Well, good job in pushing forward, because I know the struggle is real out there for everyone in their own individual way. Every day I talk to somebody, and throughout the conversation, they always share with me something they're going through, whether it's the birth of a new baby and that stress, whether it's going to a funeral and that whole stress of grieving and dealing with family members and liquidating, whether it's dealing with a personal finance problem, whether it's dealing with a personal physical problem. Everyone has something going on in their life. I really have never met anyone that has no issues. Certainly different people handle those issues in different ways. So again, what should you do? Try to be as thankful as possible. Try to keep as positive people around you as possible, and just try to let go as often as possible. That's the answer, in my opinion, in my experience. And in one sense, I want to talk for hours and just stay with you guys all night and talk to you as you go to bed, gently listening to my live stream. Remember, when you used to like be in love and you used to, like in high school, and you used to talk to the person you like and you talk all night until you fall asleep on the phone? Moji, nice man. Well, Moji, I appreciate that. Ricardo, hey Sam, you live near the beach? Yes, I do. Just saw one of Humor Late's videos. I don't know that. Man, beautiful Sam. You living good. Wish I could do that. Well, it's a blessing. Again, I'm 38. Again, it took me 22 years in the workforce to get this job. It took me working construction, working in a ditch, sleeping in my car in the winter, throwing out all the possessions I ever owned, getting into arguments with family members. A lot of failure, a lot of heartache in between where I'm at now and in between where I've come in life. Okay, so they always say don't look at someone else's chapter 20 when you're in your chapter 1 or chapter whatever. That's key. I think that's key. Nicholas, bravo, you into cigars? No, I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit them when I was like 27, and then I also quit cigars. I used to smoke Black and Milds after that, like to try to wean me off, but it's all garbage. I don't smoke any of that anymore. Cuban cigars helping me with anxiety. Well, I understand that, laugh out loud. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to love Newports. They used to help me with anxiety. Then I smoked Black and Milds, so I don't judge. I used to do it, but I'm thankful that I was able to kick that habit because to me, top 3 causes of preventable death are tobacco's number 1, tobacco-related diseases. I believe obesity-related disease is number 2, and then alcohol-related disease is number 3. So if you could stop smoking, if you could stop eating overall unhealthy, and if you could stop drinking, overall, you've just cured yourself of the top 3 preventable causes of death. Now, look, no matter what, everyone's going to die. And no matter what, you have to have some enjoyment of life because, life could be bitter. But you got to be mindful of what hurts you the most and what helps you the most. So, and there's a balance there. There's a balance, and everyone has their own balance. But this is something that I've reflected on in my life. Marin, our life is great. Takes one to know one. Marin, love and respect to you. Thank you. Ricardo, how's the weather out there? It's very magical. I saw one of my friends Snapchat raining like crazy in Florida. She lives in Tampa. Yeah, no, not where I've been. I mean, pretty much where I've been at, there's been rain maybe in the past 3 weeks, 3-4 days, and it's only lasted an hour max. And that's usually, when you see a Snapchat, it's usually 15 seconds or less, right? So sometimes somebody shows a Snapchat of it pouring down raining, but what you don't see is then 15 minutes later, it's gorgeous. Just like somebody shows you a Snapchat of a bunny ear filter and them like with their legs and their back prompted out and their ass looking magical. But then as soon as that Snapchat 15-second thing is done, they breathe and they got a little stomach and their ass isn't as round as it looked and the filter's gone and you can see all their imperfections in their skin. A Snapchat filter, a photo uploaded on social media is very deceptive. It's a snapshot in time, stage orchestrated to illustrate a point to you, but it's not reality. Just like videos on YouTube, when they're edited, when they have music, when they show only certain angles, all that is it's photography, it's cinematic, it's a movie, it's not reality. Reality is unedited. Reality is, what you can't escape from. People watch movies, people use filters to try to escape from reality. Nothing wrong with that, but if you don't deal with reality, life just is painful, in my opinion. Where was I at? Nicholas, thank you for the comments, guys. Yeah, I saw a report on Montecito using that cancer spray. Yeah, that's Montecito, if I'm saying that right, is seed producing company. They're agriculture. They produce seeds for crops and farmers, and a lot of them are genetically modified. And he says using a cancer spray on tobacco fields. Yeah, but look, you need some type of sprays to keep away insects, because if you didn't have any sprays and some things are organic, guess what happens? You can have bacteria, you can have different type of bugs that carry diseases on there. So a lot of times, like, people give a bad name to fertilizers and sprays, but a lot of times those actually keep away diseases. Food is safer now than it was 100 years ago. Okay, 100 years ago, before all those sprays and genetically modified stuff, food was actually less healthier. The problem is people we weren't as a developed society, so people didn't eat as much because they didn't have as much resources. 100 years ago, people were on bread lines. The economy was so bad that you had to wait online to get bread in America, okay? So that's not reality anymore. I mean, people throw away bread every night. I guarantee you, almost probably 100% of people in this chat room threw away food they didn't want today. 100 years ago, you would have to stand online for bread. That's where society has advanced to. And so the obesity problem and the cancer problem, I mean, I'm sure there's different areas that the sprays and the things affect that, so I don't want to be unbalanced. But what I can tell you is a big portion of that is just self-induced through overeating or overindulging on products that are not good for you. But it's not easy because people want some enjoyment of life. And then he says that's more reason for quitting smoking. Luckily for him, he's sure those chemicals is too expensive for Cuban market. Well, I understand that. I'm not mad at you. Gerald, smartest man alive. Well, thank you. I appreciate the love, and same to you. Everyone has a level of intelligence, so thank you. I appreciate that. Modi, haha, good. It's good to laugh. Jada, I'm doing great, Sammy. Good. Just tuned in. Well, I appreciate that. Always nice to see you smile. Well, thank you. Always nice to see you. Marin laughed. Good. Gerald, have you ever done a live stream of a walk around your Jeep setup? No, I haven't. I don't really even show my outside because I want some level of privacy. And it's not rocket science. I know people like to see the inside of the Jeep. I have a playlist on my channel that showed some videos of the inside. And that's it. It's simple. It's a car with the back seats down and the front seat that gets put all the way forward and blankets. That's it. It's not like rocket science. I keep the simple life simple. I don't have solar. I don't have a sexy bookshelf with a sink, with a water catchment system. Look, I got my seats folded down and I got a gallon pee jug. That's it. With one bag full of stuff. I know people like a visual reference, but I've given visual reference and I want some privacy. And I spend 90% of my time outside my vehicle. If I'm working during the day, I'm in Starbucks, I'm in a Dunkin' Donuts, I'm using the Wi-Fi, I'm on the computer. When I'm off work, I'm walking, I'm at the beach. At night, I'm at an outside cafe doing this. The only time I'm in my car for an extended period of time is when I'm sleeping. That's all I need it for. It's a shelter. It's not a dwelling. I'm not a car dweller. I live out of my car. It's a big difference. For some people, they dwell in their vehicle. They don't get out. That's them. That's not me. I'm not mad at them, but that's not me. Data Geek. Hey, Data Geek. Hey, Sam. Love and respect from Arkansas. Love and respect. This give blue to kiss, and this give heart, and this give palm tree. Thank you. Ricardo. Okay, because I'm going to Tampa next week. Was worried. Nah, don't be worried about that. I was worried, too. I mean, when I was thinking about moving to Florida, everyone said the rainy season's no good. It's too hot and oppressive in the summer. It's hotter in New Jersey right now. There was more rain in New Jersey pretty much this year. Look, there are going to be some days that are hot as hell down here. There are going to be some days there's rain, and you might catch once in a while. We're getting into the peak of hurricane season where maybe there'd be a hurricane. But what I can tell you is from my life experience, in New Jersey, I got the worst hurricane in the past 20 years on the East Coast, Hurricane Sandy. I've experienced snow blizzards in New Jersey. Been freezing. It's hotter in New Jersey right now. So there's been more adverse weather in New Jersey than Florida. But overall, it's still a tropical climate. But I think you're going to be fine as long as you're mindful of that. Janice Parkute. I don't know what that means. What that mean? Marin, directly linked to cancer. Oh, okay. Nicholas, have to disagree with you on the pesticide topic, Sammy. That's okay. Organic food was part of our civilization for thousands of years. Okay. Now the quality of food compared to the past is garbage. Okay, well, let me push back a little bit. What's our average life expectancy now versus thousands of years ago? Our life expectancy is now approximately 78 years old, 76 for males, 80 for women. What was it 100, 200 years ago? Less. Okay. Now, part of that is due to medical advancement. So there's no one answer, right? It can't just be linked back to part of it is a better water system, more filtration, cleaner infrastructure that plays a part in the environment, things like that, as far as waste disposal, things like that, okay? Because waste buildup and not having a garbage system is part of disease carrying. So in other third world countries, when you can't get rid of your garbage and you can't just put your garbage like on the outside corner and somebody come pick it up and it all just gets dumped on the outside of your tent, that's where disease gets carried. So a big misconception is a big thing that increases life expectancy is a good trash removal system. That's infrastructure. People don't think of that. But that's where disease is in waste. So there's many aspects and there's many layers of that conversation. Pesticides and all that may be part of it, but it's a very small part of an equation, in my opinion. I'm not disvaluing your comment, and I appreciate your comments, giving us good time to have a challenging conversation. But this is just my opinion based off my experience and my research. Marin says, herbicides. Marin, fungicides and insecticides. Marin, heart emoji. Marin, hee. Gerald, haha, Gallon P-Jack. Yeah, I hit it hard enough. Jada, Sammy, I've been with the same man for almost 8 years. Well, I give you credit for that. We haven't lived together for 3 years. Haven't got married. I don't need a 6th marriage too. Oh, too much confusion. Maybe I'm 80 left out to stay single. Damn. 5 marriages? I'm not well, I give you a lot of credit. I give anyone a lot of credit for doing something that many times. So I can't even judge. To me, it shows like you have a loving heart. In one sense, I mean, there are some red flags there. I don't want to pander to you, but in one sense, there's red flags. In the other sense, I said to me, Sam, I mean, you can't really give her a red flag. This is a person that hasn't given up on her dream. Maybe her dream is to be in love. And should I steal that dream? Why? Why should I steal that dream? If she's not hurting anyone, as long as you're not in an abusive relationship, and you're happy and they're happy and you treat each other right, I mean, how can I judge that? I can't judge that. Now, do I agree with multiple marriages? I mean, again, I think you should have the right to do whatever you want. I should never judge that. But in my opinion, I think after you've been married 3 times, why get married again? I mean, if you want to still be in a relationship and if you want to be committed, that's fine. But what's the point of marriage? How many times can you say, like, till death do us part? I mean, I think after 3, I think that's enough, in my opinion. What's your opinion? I guess you think it's okay? I don't know. Not that, like, I think you're going to hell or anything. Like, I don't think that. But I'm just, like, why do it? It's like the question. It's not a judgment on you. It's just a question. Why would you get married after more than 3 times? It's like, just be with somebody. Sally, I love you, Jada. Sally, Pit Stop Dweller. That's you, Sammy. I don't even know what that is. That's me, though. Jada, you know some of my story. I only know half the story. Right? I remember a girl I was dating, and she was upset with her man, so she came to Super Sammy to console her, and I was the MILF lover. And she said she was telling me like all the bad things about like her man that was disappointing her. And I listened, and then she like wanted me to pass judgment on him. I said, whoa, now you know I love you. I said, but I'm only hearing half the story. I gotta hear your side, which now I heard, and believe me, I know her side was tilted. And then I gotta hear his side. And then I gotta realize both sides, probably the truth is somewhere in between. And that's the reality of life. Janice, Parkate, they are putting marijuana fields. Oh, okay. Marin, no disrespect. None. Cancer, coach, and didn't want to. Let it go. Forgiveness. Amen. I'm not mad. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Marin. I appreciate that. Amen. Well, look, I want everyone to be healthy. I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't care. Even if somebody I don't like, I don't want anyone to suffer. Even people that give me thumbs down. I don't want anyone to suffer. Now, I talk a little wild because, but I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't want anyone to hurt, feel pain. I want to be left alone as far as like, I want to live in peace and I want other people to live in peace. That's it. That's it. Now, I want to have fun. I have fun. Look, some of the things I say, you got to take with a grain of salt. Some of them are serious. But this ain't like, look, this is me sharing. I'm not out there trying to hurt anybody. Like, I try to avoid if I see I can help somebody, I'll do it. But I avoid drama. I don't try to get involved or hurt people. I mean, stay away from everyone. Gerald. Linda says there's 3 sides to every story. Amen. That's right. Oh, I missed a comment. Marin says, look at you. You're a huge success. Wow. I appreciate that. You're a mentor. Well, I appreciate that. You're out of the box and doing a lot of true self-love. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. This makes my heart sing. Thank you. I appreciate that. It'll put a smile on my face. Thank you. And then Linda said, which is very correct, 3 sides of the story. Gerald, I was married 1 time. I won't do it again. Well, I'm not mad at that. I've been married 0 times. I won't do it again. Well, I will do being married 0 times, but I won't get married once. Told us that. Well, for me, it's not the answer. But for some people, it is. I know some people that they highly value family. And I don't want to take their dream away from them. It's just not for me. That's all. Marin, 3 heart emojis. I hit the triple hearts. Thank you. Gerald, my ex is on her 3rd marriage. Now, what a joke. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not judging anyone. I'm not telling you what you should do. But in my opinion, this is my opinion, okay? I think after 3 marriages, if you want to still be in a relationship, I say go for it. But why get married? I mean, unless it's like a legal thing, like for that splitting of assets or something of that nature, then maybe. Now, again, I think you should have the right. I believe we live in a country that you should have the right to do something, and you shouldn't be oppressed of that right. Uh, but I don't know. This is my opinion. Very interesting. Well, I think we shared some good stuff. We thought it was over, but it kept going pretty good. And then Gerald says, I value family highly. Just in today's times, it's impossible. Well, good comment. And I think it's always been very hard. Even during the Brady Bunch, I think there was a lot of dysfunctional families that just stayed together because at that time, society pressured them to stay together. Just like, now society pressures people to not do this or not do that. But this is, look, as long as you're not hurting anyone, do whatever you want. Nicholas, Sammy, who you got planned to look after you when you're older? Also, that debate on pesticides was a good start, but I'm limited to 200 characters. I understand. Nicholas, I want you to know that your voice is heard, and I respect and love you, brother. And so please, I know how frustrating it is. I know that you want to communicate your point, and that I'm able to speak verbally, and you have to type it all, and it's harder. So I'm not trying to bully you or speak over you. So I hear you, brother. I hear you. Now, back to his question. Who do I plan to look after me when I'm older? I plan to have whatever money I have, hopefully, through savings and hopefully through Social Security, that I could just pay for a caretaker or a robot. Because what I found is your family members don't want to take care of you. Even family members who love you, because they have their own burdens in life. They have a full-time job. They have their own family. The last thing they want is the burden to take care of somebody else. They're going to put you in a home, and they're going to liquidate all your assets when you don't have the capacity to liquidate your own, because they're going to have to pay for nursing care. And you don't want them to take care of you. You don't want your family members, after they've worked all day and they're raising their own family, to then have to change your diaper, because they're going to resent you, they're going to speak bad to you, and then you're going to barely have the capacity to think, and now you have the mental aggravation to know that your children are taking care of you when they resent it because they got their own family now, they got their own life, and they're looking at you like a burden. The best thing you can do is have some money saved up, and maybe, hopefully, at that time, we have robots taking care of us, and that we don't have to put that burden on other people. In some other countries, they actually have children to take care of them when they're older. I think that's the most selfish, disrespectful thing to humanity ever. If you've lived long enough in this world, you know how hard it is. I think it's selfish to have children. I was reflecting on today how hard life can be mentally and physically. And for you to force another human being in this world, and they're going to go through a lot of shit, I think that's selfish, just so you can enjoy baby time with them. That's my opinion. People don't want to hear that. Then you have to spend at least 15 years trying to figure out life and building a career. Then when you finally do that, then you're at a point in the age where you're 40s and 50s. Now you got to take care of your parents for the next 10 years. Then you're finally at the age of 60. Now you got to find somebody to take care of you. Your whole life in this world is full of stress. All because we repeat that cycle of reproducing. What do I think we should do? I think we should just let robots take over and, stop the madness. People don't want to hear that. I know. Marin. I'm on my third, she says. I have been romantic, learning curves. I understand that. 12 years happy. Well, I'm happy for you. If you're happy, I'm happy for you. And then she laughed out loud. Good. Milano, what's up, Milano? Failing is part of our journey. That's right, brother. Mistakes is experience to move forward. That's right. And it's painful and it's hurtful. And I understand. I have compassion. All we can do is let go and just make the most of each day. Try to treat people as good as we can, and we got to move forward. That's right. Good job, Milano. I'm thinking about La Misa. Good job, brother. L124. 3 times the charm, right? And he gave the thumbs up and purple heart. Tom Hanks. Can I room with you? No vacancy at Hotel Renegade. No, but I love you, but nobody can share that room. I appreciate that, though. Nicholas. Yeah, I'm almost care of me from a broken home. When she aged, I took best care of her. Took me years from my youth, but I would do it all over again. No, look, I know you do it all over again, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying. It's love and respect. Linda, would you rather live in the woods than have kids take care of me? Oh, yeah, see, look, this is what Linda says. Would rather live in the woods than have my kids take care of her. Linda, high five emoji and thumbs up. Now, and Linda's a respectful, loving woman. And I know what she means in context. I know exactly what Linda means in context. Linda wants the best for her family, whatever, but she knows what it is. And that's the type of people I like to be around, because I understand where Linda's coming from, and I respect that. Marin, oh my gosh, you're such a good talker. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Sally, race car drivers pull over and get their tires changed. Oh, okay, that's true. That's called a pit stop. You're in a van long enough to do a pit stop. Well, okay, I'm a pit stop guy. I understand what you're saying now. Gerald, haha. Let the Terminators take care. Yeah, I can't wait. I wish right now we lived in an era, and it's going to happen, maybe not in my lifetime, but it's going to be better for society. When robots are caretakers, when robots do all the work and society's just given a check, just like now when you're older, you have Social Security. When you're born, you're going to have like a Social Security check. You're going to have a monthly siphon from the government. There's going to be only a couple corporations that control most of the economic resources. And robots are going to do all the labor. Robots are going to serve you at Starbucks. Robots are going to change your oil at Quick Lube. Robots are going to build your home or whatever. Robots are going to do everything. Robots are going to change your diapers. And I can't wait for that day. Believe me, I'd much rather be sitting down with a robot than a real person. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's my opinion. Blanton, Sam is the king of savage. Well, thank you. I wish he was my dad. Well, don't put me on pedestal because believe me, not good. But I appreciate that. Sam, are you my dad? Nope. Oh, thank God. You are my dad. I hate that. I love you, Bland, but I know you're just kidding. Love your life lessons. I appreciate that. Now, I know you meant in context. Thank you. Linda, Blanton, and then she laughing. It's good to laugh. Ryan B. I think at that point where you can't take care of yourself, it's best to take the silver bullet. Well, I understand that. I mean, certainly that comes across the mind, but that's very hard to do. But I certainly understand that. I do. Nicholas, interesting how a spiritual person such as yourself, Sammy, has faith in a robot. Yep, I do. Because I know humanity. If you read the scriptures, this is what Jesus says, okay? The people, when Jesus went in after Passover, right before he got crucified by the people, okay? They said, Jesus, we love you, we believe in you, Jose in the highest or whatever, you're the King of Kings. And there's a scripture that says, that captured Jesus' thought. He said, even though the people trusted him, he didn't trust them because he knew human nature. He knew the same people, Peter, who swore his life. Peter swore his life to him. But when the shit hit the fan, and Peter, who was considered the first spiritual pope, when he was pressed and when he was going to be crucified, what Jesus said, didn't even know him. And when your kids and when your loved ones are pressed hard enough, they ain't even going to know you. And they're going to resent you, even if they put up the facade, because that's human nature. Okay? You guys love Sammy. You guys love Sammy. You love Inspirational Nomad. But if someone came to your door, if the FBI or somebody came to your door and they threaten your life, they threaten your family's life, and if unless you give up Inspirational Nomad, you would give me up in a minute, most people. Why? Because it's self-preservation. Okay? This is life. Now, people don't want to have that adult conversation. They want to send their kids to CCD, okay? Even though they got their own issues to deal with, okay? And even though they're going to skip CCD, they're going to go in the woods, drink Mad Dog 2020, and watch porn on their phone. But they think they're learning something in CCD. Now, I learned something in CCD, but I also did that. What I can tell you is read the scriptures, and what you're going to find is humanity. What you're going to find is some of the people in the scriptures. King David, what he do? He had a mistress, and then he killed the mistress's husband. Okay, Moses was a murderer. He killed an Egyptian with his bare hands. Paul used to persecute people. Peter denied Jesus. You tell me one person in the Bible that wasn't humanity. Okay, everyone was. Okay, so if you're really spiritual, you know that's what that world was, and that's what this world is. Okay, there's some good people in between, but everyone has their breaking point, and there's some real shit that you got to address in life. And if you think pesticides is your big problem, human nature is your big problem. Okay, because we're constantly at war with the flesh. Okay, now this is real talk. Now I love everyone, but this is 100. They don't get more 100 than this. This is the battle of everyday life. Okay, let's take a break. Got this getting very, very serious. And then he said, I personally have more faith in Christ. Second coming. Love and respect you, brother. Love and respect you too, brother. Good luck with, I love Jesus, but you know what I'm saying now. Come on, I'm going to give it to you raw. Believe me, do you want me to say praise the name of Jesus and then ask for 10%? I'm not going to do that, okay? What I'm going to tell you to do is, look, just skip the advertisement if you don't want to watch and do what you want. That's what I say. Mo, haha. Gerald, laugh out loud. I love you more every time I hear you, buddy. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Mo, real talk. 100. Gerald, so much real talk. It's real, and I'm not, yeah, that's what it is. Nicholas, true, man. I love my folks, but I'm forcing them to retire in Italy. See, here you go. You want to control them. Well, I go back to my home in Toronto. Yeah, you don't want to be bothered with them. Want them to retire. Yeah, just get out of your life. Just to live your life so I can focus on mine. Just human nature. That's why I want robots. Gerald, porn on the phone. That's what happens. Yep. More money. All the way from Canada. Ducks, which brother? Nothing but love. Nothing but love to you too. Love and respect to my Canadian brothers and sisters. Man, human nature. Some are, all caps, great at caring for others. Some are. All right, now they see right. No robot could come close to their love and genuine caring. Many, however, and then she puts all caps, are not going to be capable of that place. I mean, look, that's true. Look, some people can do carpentry work, some people can't. Some people can be caretakers, some people can't. But at the end of the day, everyone fails. And at the end of the day, sometimes a nail gets missed in a stud. And sometimes when you're changing someone, when you're caretaking them, you treat them harshly because you had a bad day. Human nature is, there's going to be imperfections. Okay, now robots are going to be imperfection too because humans make robots. But all I can say is life is imperfect. That's why when you have kids and when you force another kid in this world, you know what you're giving them. You know, so just be kind. I love this one. I want to be positive. Now, look, life ain't all bad, but these are my thoughts. My opinion. Look, I'm very happy, very positive, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. Marin, laugh out loud. Woohoo's in the building. You're live again. Missed you, buddy. Well, I appreciate that. Marin, robots can malfunction. That's true, and that's a fair point, because humans make robots. Eventually, maybe robots will make robots. That's what happens in the Terminator. Nicholas, interesting topic, Sammy. Always, brother, I love you. You should have a real talk segment, brother, laugh out loud. Well, that's what my radio show was, Nabel, when I had a nonprofit organization, and I had a radio show out of Plainfield, New Jersey, on AM radio. Shout out to Harvest Radio. That's what my weekly show was called, Real Talk Hour. Yeah, so, I mean, that's what it is. Got that a geek. Sammy, today was Colossians 3:23-24 and Philippians 4-13 to get me through the day and a marathon of Sammy videos, clapping, prayer, heart emoji. Thank you for sharing so much inspiration. Wow, thank you, and I appreciate that. Faith plays a big part in my life, and I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, and I respect every other faith and people with no faith, just as my opinion. And Marin, love your opinions. Thank you, Marin. Laugh out loud, good to laugh. SP, Preacher Sam, truth, love, and respect. SP, thank you for coming in. Appreciate that. Daddy Geek, moving forward. Yep. Look, that's the end of the game. Gotta move forward. No, it's not easy, guys and girls. Daryl, people malfunction all the time. Yeah, both do. That's true. Marin, really? Question mark? I don't know what I said to that. Ralph, at your best when you share your truth. Go, Sam. Well, I appreciate that. Don't put me on a pedestal. I know what you're saying, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Woohoo. Do you think there will be a Bigfoot? I just saw one. They actually had like a cardboard cutout of Bigfoot. It was weird. Like I was walking in this trail, and I guess somebody like in the neighborhood put like a cardboard cutout. Harry and the Hendersons, that movie when they ran over to Bigfoot and they took him home, they really loved that Bigfoot. Would I rather be taken care of by a Bigfoot or Big Mama? Maybe a Bigfoot. I don't know. I like Bigfoot. Marin, perfect for you. Radio totally. Well, I appreciate that. Mo money. Tell me a little bit about how you started living in your car, brother. Okay. So about 2.5 years ago, I got to a point where I said, I looked around, I owned a condo for 15 years, and I was looking around, it's about 1,000 square foot, a little bit over. It was a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath condo, or 1.5 bath condo. And I looked at all the square footage, and I looked at all the rooms and all the furniture, and I said, I only use my bed, my toilet, and a little bit of my kitchen. Out of the 1,000+ square foot, I only use probably about 100 to 200 square foot of that condo. And I was living inland in northern New Jersey, away from the beach. And that was my real dream, to live by the beach. So I said, why am I paying? My mortgage was about $2,000 a month. My taxes were about $6,000 or $7,000 a year, and my maintenance fee for my my maintenance fee for my homeowners association, I was in a townhome community, was $300 a month. So altogether, my expenses for my house were probably about $2,500 a month. Listen, I'm paying all this to live in a house that doesn't inspire me, and I'm paying for a lot of space that I'm not using. I really want to live by the beach. I like small, little, cute, and that's all I need. I'm just single. At that point in my life, when I was like 35, I'm 38 now. I knew at that point I didn't want to be married. I don't want kids. After my dog passed away when I was 33, I said I'm not probably not going to get another dog again. It took too much out of my soul. So I know it's pretty much going to be me probably until the day the Lord calls me home. And so I said I just want a small, little, cute condo, and I said, if I lose my job, I don't want the stress to have to go get another high-paying job just to maintain a lifestyle that I don't even want to live anymore. I was caught in a rat race. I said, I got to get out of the rat race while I still have the resources and the capability, while I still have my job, while I still have the energy and my youth and my health. let me start downsizing, throw out all of my stuff, and sell. And I was going to buy a smaller beach condo in New Jersey. So once I put my house on the market and I got a contract, under contract, I started looking at beach condos in New Jersey. And I couldn't find one I really like. And then I thought to myself, Sam, why are you going to buy a beach condo in New Jersey? You know you don't want to be here in the winter. And I was realizing towards the end of closing how painful and how hard it is to sell property. Even though my condo sold in 2.5 months, it was painful for me. Why am I going to go through that again if I know my end goal is Florida? So what one person at my job actually recommended is they recommended RVs. They said, Sam, you should look into RVs because it sounds like you're in a life transition where living mobile would best suit you. So I started to look on YouTube at RVs because I grew up in a suburb about 45 minutes outside New York City, and there wasn't RVs. It was a suburb in a metropolitan area, and so I had to educate myself on the RV lifestyle. And when I was YouTubing RV lifestyle, eventually they recommended like people living out of their vans and stuff. And then I started looking at that, like people willingly doing it. And I said, at first I was like, that's a little crazy. But then I was like, you know what, that's not that bad. And then I researched about campgrounds, about, Walmarts for one night. And I tried to plan and research how I could do it for me, because everyone's going to have a little bit different journey. And then when I started to think, then I started looking, I was going to really buy an RV. I was going to buy a travel trailer. I was trying to find something that my Jeep Renegade could tow, because I already bought my Jeep Renegade when I was living in my house. I wasn't going to, I didn't buy my Jeep Renegade thinking about living out. I just bought it because I wanted to, before that I had a Range Rover. So that was like my first step of downsizing. I wanted a more simple car. And so I said, well, I like the Jeep Renegade. I bought that with no plans of living out of it. And then when I came to selling my house, and I knew I knew eventually I wanted to go to Florida. So I said, well, I want to live mobile until I can get down to Florida. I looked at RVs that I could pull with my Jeep Renegade, and there was only a couple on the market. Fiberglass, the Happier trailer, which I did a video on, I could just pull with it, and the Tab trailer. I looked at the Tab trailer in Delaware. I was going to buy that, but that was like at the max towing capacity. And then I said, where am I going to park this thing? Because I'm not ready to go to Florida yet. And New Jersey doesn't have a lot of campgrounds. They got a couple of mobile home communities, and they're not in good communities. And there's not camping all year round in New Jersey. Camping closes by state law from like the end of November to the beginning of April. By state law, you can't camp there because of the harsh winter conditions and state law or whatever regulations. So I said, well, I'm gonna just try living out of my car. I said, if it doesn't work out, then I just get an apartment or buy another house. And for 2 years, because I didn't want to just uproot and leave New Jersey because I had a good job, for 2 years I stayed in New Jersey. And it wasn't easy, but I made a way in my car because I sacrificed. And eventually, in the beginning of this year, an internal position opened up to work remotely. I applied. It took about 4.5 months for me to get accepted. And I finally got accepted, and only in the past 2 months have I fully transitioned down here. And, certainly that can change as everything changes. But that's kind of how it evolved. And then now, like as I'm down here, and I entertain buying a home base, I don't want to buy property in one particular area, because what if something happens with my job and then I have to maybe go all the way down to Miami, or I have to go to Jacksonville, or I have to go to Tampa. I'm going to probably stay in Florida. But if I had ever had to get another job, I don't want to have to buy and sell property again. Especially now, the housing market's all the way up top again. I'd rather just be mobile. Now, I'm paying costs for campgrounds and things like that, but it's still, for me, minimal, and I'm willing to do it at this point. As I get older, I may get an RV or I may get a van, but I'm still 38 and I'm in relatively good shape. So I always go back into my mind, right now, this lifestyle gives me the most flexibility, the most mental peace, and the most options. That's why I stay with this lifestyle until otherwise it gets changed. So that's the overall story. I hope that helped you. And Gerald, there's a little Bigfoot Easter egg on your Renegade's window. Okay. Oh, yeah, there is. That's right. That's true. I didn't even know that. That's right. There is one. There's a little decal on a Jeep Renegade of a Bigfoot. See, that was meant to be. Thank you, Gerald. Good job. Mo Money. Wow. Gerald, you're not alone, buddy. We're here for you. I appreciate that. Mo Money. I live in an apartment, but I'm paying. Yep. Everyone pays. I mean, even I pay a certain amount, but I have flexibility. That's what I like. That's the difference in this lifestyle versus a conforming lifestyle. In the mobile lifestyle, you still have cost. In the mobile lifestyle, you still have sacrifices. But what you do have in your benefit is Flexibility. That's your asset. That's your number one asset. If shit hits the fan and you needed to move to another state to get a job, if you were really destitute, you could. If whatever happened and you had to visit a family member, if they got sick, you don't have to uproot and leave your home and be paying for a mortgage that you can do that. You have flexibility. And for me, that's an asset that I'm not willing to give up yet. Nicholas, brother, notice you never discussed tiny homes. I did look at tiny homes. I discussed it in one of my videos, but the problem with them, one is when I looked in New Jersey, in many municipalities, there's a minimum 1,000 square foot home that you have to build. You have to build a foundation for at least 1,000 square foot home. You have to hook up to utilities. You can't, because municipalities mandate that you hook up to the utilities. You don't have to turn them on, but they have to be hooked up to pass code for there to be a certificate of occupancy. In most restricted land areas. The only way you can build a tiny home and not be constricted by those things is if you're in the middle of nowhere and you find unrestricted land. If you buy unrestricted land, you're going to be away from infrastructure. You're going to be away from jobs, number one. So you need a job. And you're going to be away from hospitals, things like that. You're going to be in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere. And for me, that's not a lifestyle I want. I want to be by the beach. So that's why tiny homes, off the list. Maybe a cute little, but I don't even want to. At this point, I did think at one time, I don't even want a cute little studio condo. Same thing as tiny home. I'd rather be mobile. That's just how I am at this point. You did a video on one, but there was a shitty layout. They got an 8x10, yep, and 2 bedrooms with a living space cost 15, 20K. Yeah, that's the case, but the main thing with tiny homes is the land. Buying land that's unrestricted, and like I said, I just broke that down. That's the main thing. You can buy a small home for 10, 20,000, but you need land, and you have to build it in accordance with those rules and regulations. And if there are no rules and regulations, it's unrestricted, you're going to be in the middle of nowhere. You're going to have no job opportunities, no infrastructure. Mo, nice story, bro. Wow, thank you. Mo, too much for little. Gerald, Nicholas, where can you put those little homes? That's the problem. And you're static. The Ice Thesis. What's up, man? Good to see you, Ice Thesis. Nicholas, Gerald. They're mobile. They're on a trailer with wheels. Yeah, they're not really mobile, though. You're going to need to hire a service to come pick that trailer up. You're not going to have a big rig to tow that. Unless you have like a diesel dually, and even that, I mean, and those things cost $50,000 up. So those aren't really mobile. Mobile homes aren't really mobile. You got to have like a tractor trailer. You got to have 2 escort cars that say wide load. It's going to cost a couple $1,000s to move, and you still got to plop it somewhere, eventually somewhere. You know, you can't just go from campground to campground with a mobile home. You can't just go to Walmarts and rest stops. You have more flexibility in an R van or car V. That's why, for me, that's the lifestyle I like, but everyone's different. L1 Cliffo. Your honesty and openness is a gift. Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you, LF210. Sending appreciation, love, respect, and hugs. Well, I appreciate it. To you, Sam. Enjoy your night. And she gave me the magical moon and something else. But thank you. I appreciate that. Gerald, okay, for some reason, I thought you meant a little house. Cool, though. Thanks. Ice Thesis. What is your favorite thing about car living? Is it the flexibility? Yes. Flexibility, number one. Or the price and travel ability. Travel is all the way lowest. Flexibility is number one. I do like the minimum cost. Flexibility and mental peace. Those are the 2 things. Cost is third, because I like living simply, so I can have maximum options. And I don't have to be subject to like worrying every day about, like, God forbid I lose my job. I don't want to lose my job, but I don't want to worry about that every day. That's mental peace. Flexibility is number one, period. I don't really have a desire to travel outside of Florida. I'm going to go visit my mom again in New Jersey, but I don't want to go to any other state. I don't want to go around the country. So for me, traveling is not on the list. Hey, Rash, what's up, brother? Hey, Sam. If your background Italian, yes, 100% Italian, have you considered staying in neighborhoods in Florida with the same ethnicity to meet women? No, because I love all ethnicities. Black, white, Spanish, African, Afghanistan, Indian, Asia. I've always been like that. That's been a gift from God. For me, like, you know what I mean? And I've dated probably more black and Spanish girls than I probably have Italian. Definitely, no doubt. But it's just the way I am. It doesn't, like, I don't have a personal preference. I mean, I go through my different phases, but I got love and respect for everyone. And I really don't look at, that's been a gift for me. I really don't look at people as far as like, I got to be with this type of person, that type of person. I just look at, like, do I vibe with this person? Do we treat each other with respect? And that's it. I don't care about ethnicity, race, religion. I talk about those things as far as, like, you know, the differences. And, like, you know, just human nature, curiosity, or differences that are just noticeable. But for me, that doesn't matter. I'm just pretty much, I just go by the vibe. More money. You deserve real live audience. Well spoken. Well, I appreciate that. The Ice Thesis. Why 6 likes? Because human nature, and it's just the way life is. But thank you. Mo, 6 people dislike their lives. It could be. Ice thesis, the bug issue fixed now? Yes. Sleeping with the windows up, not ideal. But for the few nights that I'm at this campground, that's going to be, I'm only there for one more night and then I'm moving on. And then I'll just have to evaluate each campground by campground. Nicholas, nah, brother. These tiny homes are legit tiny homes. They're on wheels. When you're free, check it out. Those vids are all time. Even seeing tiny homes built on trailers. Yeah, but for me, I just don't understand that if they're that small and sleek, why get a tiny home? Why not just live in an RV? It's the same thing. At least with an RV, it's either a travel trailer or a motorhome. If it's not that, then I don't understand why you would get that. But that's just me. I mean, again, these are just my opinions. Like, everyone should do what they want for them. Ice thesis. What are your opinions on John McCain? Overall, I liked him. I didn't agree with him on everything, just like I don't. What I remember him for is when he was running against President Obama, and he was at a debate, and an older white lady stood up, and she says, I'm scared of Barack Obama. I'm scared that he's a Muslim, this and this and that. And that John McCain stood up for Barack Obama and said, there's nothing to be scared of. Barack Obama is a good and decent man. And for me, that's honor, okay? He didn't say, he didn't go into the birther issue. He didn't say you can't kneel and peacefully protest. He didn't oppress someone else. He, to me, now he lost me with Sarah Palin as running mate. But for me, that's how I remember him, okay? A war hero. Well, look, Donald Trump dodged the draft. He had Bernspose, he had money, his father had money, he comes from wealth. He was able to dodge a draft. John McCain got drafted, he got captured, and Donald Trump mocked him for getting captured, okay? Even though he dodged a draft, he ridicules other people for not standing for the anthem. If it wasn't for John McCain, you wouldn't have the freedom, okay? He's the real sacrifice. Trump dodged the draft. I remember when the shooting happened in Florida, and Trump mocked the police officer for not going in there. He goes, I don't know how somebody can see that tragedy and not go in there with guns blazing. I think I would. Yeah, Trump, you think you would? Why didn't you go to the draft then? I like some of Trump things. I'm not totally anti-Trump. Just like I'm not totally pro-Obama, just like I'm not totally pro-McCain. But for me, that's a major difference, okay? And that's where there's a level of respect for John McCain that I have, and a level of discontent that I have with Trump. That's my opinion. Mo, love and respect, brother. See you later. Gotta go. Love and respect you also. Ice thesis. When McCain said that, whole crowd flipped on him. I know, and that's why I love and respect John McCain for standing up for the truth and love. I respect that. Ryan B, you will still have poverty taxes as well. Okay. Mo Money. Is living in a van better, cheaper, and more convenient than living in a smaller trailer? Yes, in my opinion, yes. You have more flexibility. You're easier to get around, less to maintain, and you got more flexibility. So, guys, good conversation. I gave it all I had. Thank you for giving it all you had. I noticed that. It was a great conversation, and love and respect. If you fail, you just got to try your best to get back up. I know this world can be painful. Just give it the best you got and let go, and peace be with you.